by halftime, Baker was able to pick up on the hand signals of the defense, of calls were Minnesota was bringing in. Baker says that made a huge difference. Were you surprised he was able to kind of decipher? And how much do teams try to do that?
I mean, I'm not particularly surprised. I mean, like Baker's a smart guy, and I would imagine that teams try to do it like all the time, right? But I think like what it comes down to really is just like executing the things that you did in practice, right? Like whether you know the signals or not, like they can just change their signals, like on the fly. So, I think like if you're able to pick up on it, cool. But the biggest thing is focus on yourself.
Those little games that are played in between the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. It's like it's a game within a game, right? And sometimes you go out there and you have an idea what they're gonna do, but like at the end of the day, you gotta react to to what they're showing you.
Chris, after the game, Coach Goff was talking about how Dave Canales made some major adjustments for you guys, and that was a big key to the win. How much confidence does that do for your offense? In his first game, calling plays in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean it gives a lot of confidence. I think like one thing like for us, right, is to make sure that we're giving people grace as well, right? Like it was his first time calling plays, like as an offensive coordinator, and kind of give him like the grace to find his footing. We're all trying to figure each other out. He's trying to figure out what we like. We're trying to figure out what he likes, and trying to figure out how all that gels together. But I think he did a really good job of making adjustments and just being calm in the moment.
And on the heels of that, so just confidence-wise for your offense, the first several drives of the game,
Yeah.
just struggling moving the ball, but then you finished right. Is that maybe something you want to build on going into week 2?
Yeah, I think so. I think like for us, right? Again, it's finding our groove. It's figuring out like where we're at. Figuring out like the types of players that we have, building our team camaraderie, right? I think like we saw like a lot of really good things, right? Like we saw, a couple of plays like Baker scrambling, right? And it looks like there's nothing there. He turns nothing into something, and gets a first down on the big, third down conversion for us. Keeps the chains moving. Little things like that is like what we're gonna count on throughout the season. So it's gonna be good for us and to really see how we grow.
How much did you guys need that win just to solidify or strengthen the belief that you guys had in yourself and what you've been working on all year long?
It's a good question. I think I don't know. I feel like every win is important, right? Like I don't know if there's any one that's more important than others, but I think it was good for us to get off on the right foot. I think for our confidence, I think for us and like understanding like the work that we put in and understanding that we have a bunch of ballers on this team. I think it was big for us confidence wise, but this week is just as important as last week.
You guys haven't had a lot of 1 o'clock games, even in prime time for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
But 1 o'clock in Raymond James Stadium in September, it's going to be hot, and the Bears are going to be in the black jerseys or dark jerseys. So, how much can that be a factor in a game like this?
I think it could be a factor, right? But like at the same time, if we don't come out, we don't execute. Like it'll be for none, right? Like I think they have a lot of good players on that team, and like I'm sure like they work hard in training camp. They do conditioning and all that kind of stuff, and then you got talented guys on their team like Justin Fields, right? Like he's out there running around like he's doing like a little like Chicago like freestyle and making turning bad plays into good plays. He makes it really tough on defenses. DJ Moore's a great player. They got some good players on defense too. So it's like he's going to be a factor, but we can't just rely on that to win us the game. We got to go out there and really put the work in.
Could be an edge, though.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. Yeah. But, again, execution is the key there. Like, if we go out there and we're like, man, what's going on? Like, they're not dying, then it's like we're screwing ourselves. So.
How big is it to open at home, having already tucked a win on the column on the good side for you and the fans?
I mean, I think it's good, like, confidence-wise, but, like, aside from that, like, what we did last week is not going to help us this week, right? Like, we can't rest on the laurels that we did last week because it won't impact anything in this game. Like, the Bears, they don't care about it. They're coming here trying to get their first win of the season, so they're going to be coming after us, and we got to be ready for it.
What would you rate the catch that you had to finish off that game with that fingertips?
I think after the game, I said it was a pretty routine catch. After looking at it, I guess it was a little bit more than that, but I don't know. I feel like probably like 5 or 6, right? Like I think I've seen some pretty good catches out there, and I feel like I've made some pretty good ones too. But I think for the moment, it was a big catch for us, and I think like my reaction on the sideline afterwards was pretty indicative of that.
Todd was saying that what he's learned about Baker is he's a smart guy for one, but the fact is he's a guy that will stick his face in the fan.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that from him?
Yeah, for sure. Like and that's kind of like what I was getting earlier, right? Like I said, like he was turning nothing into something. Like that's a big third down play. He's stiff arming DBs and getting in their face. It's like you're looking for that kind of competitive edge, like from your quarterback. I think it gets us fired up, but also like it lets us understand that like he's gonna go in there, he's gonna fight. That's what we need.
And he got the angry run of the week.
Did he?
For that.
He should have. He should have. It was a fiery run.
Sorry. Chris, what has stood out to you watching the Bears defense on film, maybe specifically also the secondary?
I think they do a really good job of making plays, right? Like they got some experienced players back there. They just got, they got Tremaine Edmonds, right, in the middle. He's kind of like, leading the defense. Eddie Jackson's been there for a while, and he's been a ball hawk. I think Jaquan Briscoe does a really good job in the run game and just being physical. Like they got some really good corners that are playing smart and they're playing with confidence, right? And it's going to be a challenge for us. We understand that, but it's like regardless of like the views that they give us, like the different coverages, all that kind of stuff, like we got to go out and we got to execute. We're confident in the guys that we have, and it's like if we go out there and play our game, I think we like where we stand.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris.
Appreciate it.